Yeah, we were saying to the guys earlier, I've been selected. Been selected to play in the Crunch Creator game. So we're going to go down to Bordeaux, flying us out and play all the French influencers, which would be fun.
Who are you most worried about running down your channel?
Bastereau. He is huge.
Yeah. Did you play against Bastereau when you were in France?
Yeah, maybe back in the day, but
surely you knew about it if he was down your channel.
Yeah, I mean, it's the big boys out there. Yeah, I don't know if I did. He might have been at 8, you know.
You're going to get the night in Bordeaux afterwards?
Yes, but I just realised Arsenal, the flight back is in the afternoon. It's the same time Arsenal playing.
Day 2.
Yeah, so I need to figure out what I'm going to do.
Stay another night.
I'm going to get an earlier flight. I can't be missing Arsenal.
Nah, you got to come back for the league win.
Yeah. Fingers crossed, touch wood right now, please.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
I do agree.
Welcome back to season 2, episode 4 of the. Oh, it's episode 5 actually.
Episode 5
of the Counter-Ruck Counterculture show. We are joined by, on my left, Saracens prop Phil Brantingham.
Woo! Bit warm.
Yes, Phil.
And on my right, we are very pleased to be joined by Orlando Bailey and Billy Searle from the Leicester Tigers.
Give you one. Cheers, lads.
Yeah, we'll just get started from there. I think we'll probably start with Orlando. And Phil, you've obviously met together before, played England juniors coming up, 18s and 20s. Just talk about being like England junior players to start with, like, and how that was as an England 18s and 20s players.
Yeah, I think like obviously like when I came in set up, you were like kind of already in there and said you looked after me, didn't you, when I first joined in? But like it's obviously like cool, like kind of your first taste of what a professional environment looks like, because when you're 16, 17, you don't really know what a professional environment is. And I guess that's kind of the first taste of what it looks like, because I think especially like the England setup is very professional, and how they deliver their coaching and even like the nutrition workshops, etc., all the things like that. The setup of it is very much like you're going into a full-time team. So I guess it's quite a nice like taste of what is to come if you go on to sign a full-time deal with a club.
Yeah, one of our first experiences was that South Africa tour. So they moved it forward a year, when like just the year we started. And so we ended up being like 17-year-olds playing against guys who just finished school in South Africa. So they were 18 and a half. And we were like, oh, geez. So it was a big tour, but we had a good time. And like Phil was saying, it's at that stage where there's like people on the school circuit who you've maybe played against or seen, or maybe you've seen like highlights of them, and it's then like bring the group together, and it was quite a cool experience.
Do you remember that first Argentina game? We got pumped in like every scrum. We got drilled.
Yeah,
that was horrible. Like, because obviously, like we were like, as Lanny said, like a year young against these Argentinians that I'm like, just could not have been.
Were you Santi Carreras' year? Did you play?
No, I think she might be a little bit older than us.
Yeah,
was Finn Baxter in that front row of you as well?
Yeah, so it was like,
we had quality players. It's just in a year and a half at that age. It's a big difference.
Yeah,
and I remember like thinking, going out to South Africa, like it's going to be hot, and then it was like middle of their winter, boggy pitches.
Yeah, it was pissing down that first game, wasn't it? Yeah.
who was in your team? Like, what were the kind of players?
So Charlie Atkinson was the other 10.
Yeah.
And then like Emeka Leone, who's with us at Leicester.
Free now, isn't he? Oh, he's with you at Tigers.
Finn Baxter, Phil.
Even like Freddie Thomas was like...
Yeah, a few Gloucester boys actually.
Was Jomo there as well? Or was
no,
he...
Max is a year above us. Yeah.
And then also speaking about England, obviously Billy got the call up for England A this season.
This guy, he played as well.
Yeah, both there. But talk about that experience as well, getting called up for an England A camp.
Yeah, it was cool. It was a cool week for me. I haven't done the age sort of group stuff. I didn't really do that sort of route when I was growing up. So it was a cool week to wear the England badge. I know it's not the big time, but it's a week with a bunch of quality players from the PREM who you play against week in, week out. So it's just cool to have new ideas, meet all the boys, and just have like a sort of good crack for a week. And really enjoyed it, and went out there and beat Ireland, which was class as well.
Yeah.
But just really enjoyed new ideas, new coaches, like putting your best foot forward.
It's good,
cool week.
Your journey into rugby is a bit different, right? Like, you didn't go through the traditional academy setup, did you?
No, exactly, yeah. So I didn't really do academies until I went to Bristol at 19. So I was just playing the year Nat 2, year Nat 1, and then got picked up by Bristol and went to the PREM from there.
So talk us through it. So you, what clubs were you at?
So I did a year at Launceston when I came out of like sixth form.
Nice.
So I did a year playing in that too, which was cool. Good experience. And it sort of put me in a good stead. I'd had like 40, 50 men's games before I went into pro environment. So yeah, nowadays most people go for academies from like 14, 15 or even younger sometimes. So it was a cool route. And then did a year. So I played for Cornwall then after that in the county championship and got picked up by Plymouth Albion, who'd just come down from the championship to Nat 1. So did a year there. And then just got spotted by Bristol playing, I think it was against Loughborough apparently.
Right.
Just playing in a Saturday game, Nat 1, and then went there the year after.
Never look back.
Yeah, and then now I'm here. So it was
Now you're here, Counter podcast.
Yeah, it was a weird journey. So yeah, it was cool.
Talking about that Cornwall win as well, I think you can look back far enough, scroll further down, all the celebrations. I think you won the county cup at Twickenham back in, I think it was like 2016, 17.
Yeah.
Like county rugby is something that I think people forget about it sometimes.
Yeah.
But obviously it's a high standard. There's lots of good players playing in that. And also you're representing your region as well. Like talk about how what it was like to represent Cornwall and county rugby in general.
I think it was massive back then, like just to get picked in that to start with, and then we went to Twickenham, won it the first year I did it, and then went back again second year, won it again at Twickenham, and then at that stage you've not played at these big stadiums before, so to play at Twickenham in a final like that, and Cornwall bring a lot of fans, it's like a little religion down there, so it was a cool experience, and I think you get a lot of good players that miss maybe the academy route when you're younger, so it was sort of another way to try and put your best foot forward, and a lot of people do watch those county games, and there's some quality players that come through playing those games. So it was a cool experience. I love playing for the county. It's somewhere you're from, and it was just a cool thing to do.
Yeah. Did you play county rugby, you guys? Like, what was your pathway into for you Newcastle Academy and you Bath?
Yeah, I guess like played for like club and school growing up, and then I think played like a couple of games for county Northumberland growing up, but then like I think Newcastle, like the Falcons Academy, kind of took the priority, and then kind of everything trickled down from there. Like I remember the Falcons coaches almost set up my like playing program for the year, because I also played like a bit rugby league as well, which was cool. But I think obviously got dragged in a few different directions, so they kind of put everything out for me. This is your playing program. This is like kind of where you're going to play every week, and it was kind of really easy for me. Obviously, like touching on like I think what Billy was saying about like the playing in Nat 2, Nat 1 is I think huge for like lads, even if you are in an academy like 18, 19 years old, to go and play some men's rugby is like so different. So for me, I went to Blade and we were in Nat 2 at the time and like had the best year. Like even just growing up a little bit, like you with a team that have like are everything from 18, 19 up to like some like some 30-year-olds. So like almost having that experience, I think, is huge for a lot of lads, not necessarily just being in the full-time professional environment, because I think you can almost get stuck in that a little bit. Whereas playing like Nat 2 rugby, where like everything's a little bit harder for you, but like you learn so much from those like experiences.
For sure.
And then obviously you're a prop as well. What was it like being like a 18, 19-year-old prop at Bladen? You're probably playing in some quite interesting conditions deep in the north somewhere. Is that, obviously that's probably, as you say, helping you grow up, but is there any particular experiences that like stand out for you doing that?
Yeah, definitely. Like I remember like going to Huddersfield, like it's actually a beautiful pitch, but like I remember at the time it was literally like a bog. And as you say, an 18, 19-year-old prop, like you're going to get filled in a little bit, but that's kind of where you learn everything. Like you probably don't want to spend too long getting filled in, but like that's like the fun of it almost. And like even when you're playing I remember Darren Fern, who played for like Newcastle and Searle through the years, he was actually my uni coach, which was quite a funny one because I played uni rugby at the start of the year. Then I ended up playing with Dars was playing tight head, so we ended up playing together on the pitch at the end of the season, which was quite cool. But like chatting to him and like just like pulling knowledge from him, people you're playing with, and then also you couple that with playing against some 40-year-old bloke who's played in Nat 1 for 20 years. He's also got a lot of experience, like trying to understand what he's trying to do to you and stuff like that. Like it's kind of invaluable to as you say, like a young prop coming through.
And then also you mentioned playing rugby league as well. I think you played a little bit for like Newcastle Thunder.
Yeah.
Not many props, I'd say, play both. It was like Leo Thompson, who plays for the Chiefs in Super Rugby, has also played for the Bulldogs in the NRL. Like it's not a natural position that you go between the two. Were you playing prop in both? And do you think that stint in league helped you develop as a player at all?
Yeah, like I think it's massive for any young player. I would always encourage to go and play league, because I think it's another different like set of coaches that you'll get to know who might give you some different information. But like playing league, you get like the number of touches you get on the ball is like through the roof compared to rugby union, I think. So like growing up, when you go to play, you go to train, you're always going to get that ball through your hands and like get loads of involvement. So I think it is like it's huge for anyone's development to go and try and push yourself.
How serious were you? Were you close to making it pro in league as well? Or?
I think I was probably too big. Like unfortunately, I was like probably if I was maybe like 20 kilos lighter, I might have had a shot. But I think it was probably at one point when I was probably 16, I was probably thinking I'd actually love to go down the league route because
rolling subs aren't there?
Well, exactly. Yeah,
Could do a 1 minute stint.
That's what I used to do.
Get wheelbarrowed off,
barreled on for 10 minutes, come back off, go back on for another 10.
Yeah.
But no, it was great fun. Like I remember like so many great memories growing up playing league, and I think at 16, probably half of me thought I actually kind of want to go down the league route. But then probably when I got to 17, I kind of flicked back to wanting to stay with Union. Just probably because I realised I was too fat. But
no, fair enough. And then Orlando on this side, obviously, you were, I think, from quite a young age, you were a pretty highly touted player. I think you got called into the England set up by Eddie Jones, I want to say, in about 2021. Is that about right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, well, you were probably like 19. Were you like 19, 20
Yeah, I
years
think I
old?
was just turned 20.
Yeah, so
that season.
how was that being called into a senior England sort of that age?
It was a crazy sort of start to my career, I guess, in professional rugby. I went to Beach and Cliff for sixth form. That actually gave me the opportunity to do it because they had a really good gym program. You were being seen every day, so like I put on like 10, 12 kilograms in my final year of sixth form. So that at least gave me the opportunity to be like physical enough to play men's rugby. So that was a starting point. But then there were a couple of injuries. In my first year, Reece Priestland got injured, and so I ended up doing like maybe 10 or 11 games the back end of that season for Bath. We finished like mid-table, but it was a bit like, whoa, I think I was 18 or 19 at the time. And then the second year, again, we had Danny Cipriani, who suffered from a few concussions. So I ended up playing something like 25 games in that second year at that age. And I think sometimes when you're young, you kind of get thrown in, and maybe that's the best thing that can happen because you don't have too much time to overthink it. You just, maybe a little bit of naivety, like, oh yeah, be all right, roll with it. And before you know it, you're getting stuck in, and body just takes over or whatever. And that was some of my most enjoyable rugby was just, and that's early point, just trying things. And we had a attack coach at the time, Dave Williams, who was just like, go and try it, don't care if it comes off. And some of the time that backfired as a team because we did struggle that year. Just up front a little bit probably myself and Max Ajoma were playing a lot as a 19, 20, 21 year olds in crucial positions, but Eddie saw something and got some opportunities, which was cool.
And how did it feel playing for your local club? Like, did you support Bath growing up?
Yeah, I did. So obviously grew up in Dorset, played Dorset and Wilts counties, which we were just speaking about. It was pretty cool. Have that like the game at the Rec they do each year, or they used to do, where you'd play against Somerset, and then that would be like Dorset and Wilts would play Somerset at the Rec, and that was like the big one.
Yeah,
I remember because I've got a brother who's 4 years old. I remember watching him play in that and be like, wow, this is the pinnacle. Yeah. And then they select from that Bath squad, and stayed in there. And but no, I supported Bath since I was young, and my dad lived there for a couple of years when he was younger, and so we'd go along to games. And I remember the 2015 year when Bath had like Ford, Eastman, Joseph.
That was what a team. That's my Streets Won't Forget team, by the way.
No, exactly.
Yeah.
And that was when I'd be like at every game watching, and I was like, this is what I want to do.
Nice, the Canterbury crit, wasn't it?
Yeah, Carl Eastman.
He's one of my favourite
one of the
players.
most underrated players around. He was pretty special at 12. And then talking about, obviously, you mentioned like playing with Priestland and Cipriani. Any of those 10s in particular, like, you think rubbed off on you, or have you learned what things you learned from those 10s?
Oh yeah, I mean, I've been really blessed to have a catalogue of amazing 10s to work with. Really have, actually. Like, Reece was super helpful, really diligent, understood the game, an amazing goal kicker, and sort of a great tactician. And he was so helpful. We'd like in my early days, you'd like sit down and watch full games with me and stuff. And that's something I want to like bear in mind now is like, if there's any young 10s at Leicester, that's part of your job is to do that and help, because it's just so many little nuggets you can get from doing that. And then obviously Danny Cipriani is another. He's more than Streets Won't Forget.
Yeah,
he's way better. He's way better than that tag.
Did you ever watch his schoolboy highlights? Like Whitgift, when he was at Whitgift, like he was. You would
just some of them years at Gloucester when he was throwing like quadruple misses, and you're just like, how is that
pass
possible?
with his left hand to Charlie Sharp? Was
you know what you were saying? Elise his left foot with like no backswing. that's like the equivalent of Sips's left hand pass.
So
No
good.
backswing. It's just no look. Go
Yeah.
on. So that he was more of, and similar to Finn in some ways. Like some bits Finn Russell, you can't like teach it. You just got to watch the way they move, the way they carry themselves, and think like, if you want to try and get into flow state as a player, there's some qualities you want to take off those guys.
Yeah, and then obviously you're now at Leicester. Talking about, you like obviously we're a Bath fan. You're from the area.
Yeah.
You come through. Was that quite a hard decision to make, or like transition? Just even as a like 20, you were 23 when you moved. Like you're still quite young.
Yeah.
To like pick up everything and go. Like Leicester and Bath they're quite close, but it's not. Similar places.
Of course.
How was that, like doing all that stuff?
It was a really tricky decision. I was there for a few months thinking, well, what should I do here? Like, I went down play. It was tricky. I think obviously Finn had been playing amazing for Bath. He's re-signed for a couple of years, and then they were bringing in Santi Carreras as well. Like, why wouldn't you? He's unbelievable.
Yeah.
But I was thinking, where's my spot here? And Leicester, came and offered me a spot there, and I thought, there's never a perfect time in life, but this is a really good opportunity, and another massive club. I'm really glad I did take that opportunity, because
It's going well. You
I've
boys
loved
are
this
smashing
year.
it at the moment.
Next to
Yeah.
this guy, just getting
I'm glad
under
you
his
can.
wing, learning what I can off
I
him.
was going to say, you're not learning off Billy. You didn't mention Billy.
He
in
doesn't
your
need to learn
catalogue
off me.
of
Can't
tennis.
this guy.
I'll say
You can't teach what this guy does. He's special.
Speaking about unbelievable signings,
Yeah.
you've been class this year for Leicester, Billy, coming from Agen. Obviously, you talk about you've played at quite a few clubs. Why do you think this year in particular it's really, really clicked at Leicester?
I don't know, to be fair. I feel like maybe going to France and having a couple of years out there probably just maybe reset a little bit and freshen up my ideas and go out and just enjoy my rugby again. I had a couple of really good years there. And then coming back, I just felt in such a good place. And I think coming to Leicester, it's really suited me. I probably didn't know that before I came, but I thought there's a real chance to come back and do something here. And the way they played, the way we're playing this year, moving the ball a lot more than they traditionally would do, having guys like this guy outside me is making it easy for me. So we've got a big pack up front, but the back line I'm playing with, it's quite nice to be the guy in the middle there trying to give these boys the ball in space. The wingers we've got, Radwan and people like that, it's quite exciting backline. So
Yeah.
it's made my job a lot easier. And yeah, him at 12 and Wand at 13, we've got a array of talent who boys aren't playing, but yeah, it's been very easy for me, and really enjoying it, and glad I came back, really.
And then just talking about France as well, like obviously there's like the stereotype of the French players sometimes don't train loads during the week, or they're just like quite relaxed about how they play rugby. What would you say is like the biggest difference between obviously those 4 years down in France and then coming back to Leicester?
Yeah, they are more relaxed out there, but they do work hard. They do still work hard, but the days aren't as long, I'd say. And everyone is a bit more relaxed. You play a bit more what's in front of you, which I like. It suits my sort of game. And they still structure, of course, but they give you a lot of freedom to do what you want and express yourselves. I spent some time at Toulouse, which was probably the best club for it. And it was amazing how they played the game. Everyone looks to offload, everyone looks to play. And you're given that freedom, but obviously it's still driving standards out there, still structure, but you do get way more freedom. And I just really enjoyed it. The atmosphere out there, they enjoy life off the pitch as well. You have good fun.
The wine.
The wine, the food, the culture.
How's your French? Did you pick up? Was you on Duolingo or you?
I did for a bit, but that doesn't really help. It's good when you got it in front of you, but no, I got it second year. First year when I went there, I didn't really know any French, so I was sort of just thrown into it. And luckily, again at Toulouse, everyone sort of spoke English, so I could get away with it. But in the meetings, they speak French. On the pitch, you got to speak French.
Did they have a translator?
Not really, but a lot of the boys could speak both.
Okay,
but
fine.
sometimes, I remember my first session, they were speaking French. I didn't know what was going on, and the coach was shouting at me, and I was like, I must be doing something wrong here. But just sort of cracked on and got on with it, and you just grow through it. In my second year, I learned it pretty well, and it helps a lot on the pitch, especially as a 10. You got to call the plays, you got to talk in meetings. So anyone who does go out there, I wish I learned before I went, but
Yeah.
it's just one of those things. It was a last minute thing. Went there and picked it up before I left. So yeah, it's a good skill
So
to
you're
have.
fluent?
I wouldn't say I'm fluent.
Oh, okay.
Don't ask me any questions. But I can get by. I can have a broken conversation.
Fluent after a few drinks.
Fluent on a night out, definitely.
And then also talking about before you went to France, you're obviously at Worcester, and obviously the financial situation that happened there. Was there a certain way, because I've spoken to a couple of players at Wasp about how they found out, and it was literally just kind of came out of nowhere. It was just like ball brought into a change room and they were told. What was the situation at Worcester? Like, how did it all come out? Did you have some awareness of it?
We knew there was troubles going on for a while, and like the month before we got paid late and stuff like that. So there was like a few rumours coming around. And then the last game, I remember we played Newcastle. It was like do you want to play or not to the boys? We got a vote basically from the head coach, Steve Diamond, who was quality, looking after us all at that point. And we were like, yeah, we want to play. Because basically they're saying if we play and do well, more new investors might come in and all this stuff. So we went, pumped Newcastle, which was quite nice. And then
I was playing that.
pumped Newcastle at home, which was like, someone's going to come in and invest it. And then we come in Monday and got humbled pretty quick. And was in a meeting with the administration lady, and she's like, yeah, the club's shut down, don't come in tomorrow. And everyone's a bit like, oh. Right. You never think it's going to happen. You're like, you hear rumours, you think it'll be all right. Like, you don't see that in rugby very often. So it was a bit like, what do we do here? And everyone's a bit like panicky for a bit. So you just sort of try and stay fit, train, and like some boys were lucky to pick something up straight away, but it was mid-season, so it's hard with salary cap. So it's a tough time, and a lot of boys from there still haven't got anything now, or they're playing part-time rugby. So it's sad to see when there's some quality players probably who could have kicked on and had really good careers, but they didn't have the credit in the bank maybe to get something. So it was tough times, but it sort of grows you as a person, and it led to me going to France. So from a personal view, I look at it from that side of things. Maybe I wouldn't have gone if that didn't happen. So you got to take the positives from it, but also it was obviously a really tricky time for everyone.
Yeah. And I think probably last thing on France, playing at a club like Toulouse and clubs like Biarritz as well. Just that, how much the passion for rugby that is down there. I think 'cause a lot of people think of France, I think of all the footballers, but obviously rugby down there is also enormous. Like you see, like La Rochelle after they won their Champions Cup a couple of years ago, it was like the whole town was out.
Yeah.
Is that something that you think in the UK, it's kind of, that is where we are a bit further behind, just have the passion for it?
Probably, yeah. I think in the south of France, especially, like it's like their football there for us in England. Like you go to training. I remember when I turned to Toulouse, it was like you get hundreds of people watching every day. It's like you wouldn't get that in England, not training. And so it's crazy. And
wait, people watch you train?
Watch you train. It's like it's an open place.
Wow.
They can't
allowed to do that.
Yeah, they can't stop you coming in. Basically,
Spygate.
There's a lot of Spygate.
Yeah.
But it's just how it is out there. And then
fair.
you get to your first game, you get off the bus, and it's like 200-meter long, fans either side of these rails. It's like walking in, like you feel like it gets you going, especially for home games, and you see why their fans are so passionate. And it's just like every game's a sellout, which you don't get in England.
Any tips for me playing in not that I've mentioned it before.
I mean, you're lucky you're not playing Bordeaux because that'd be a tough one, but it's a good atmosphere there, so I'm sure you'll enjoy it. But it's just the way of life out there. I think they just love rugby, and it does get you up for the games when you're there, and it's just different to England. I think football's a big thing in England.
It's interesting, like a lot of the, like you mentioned, like La Rochelle, like the smaller towns and stuff, like they're not massive areas, and everyone it's a rugby town, isn't it?
Yeah.
Everyone buys into it. I think almost rugby were like, as you say, obviously Leicester obviously is probably maybe the only one that is like a rugby football split town. And
Northampton maybe as well.
Northampton, but like
Bath as well, maybe.
Yeah, but you look at like Sarries, Quins, like obviously you get decent support, but you're competing with Arsenal or you down southwest and you're speaking with Chelsea, and it's hard to get the same buy-in. As you say, we talk about the football and rugby culture. The rugby in France, I think, is so well supported by those small towns because they're rugby towns.
Yeah,
I'd say Bath's a pretty good parallel.
Yeah,
in
probably,
terms of smallish town, everyone's obsessed with it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
like the trophy parade last year. Like, I don't know if you saw any footage from that. It was like I couldn't believe it. At a day's notice, the whole city just like 100,000 people in the streets. It's like,
like the southwest and actually the northeast as well are the two big rugby areas. Like you say, like Bath, Exeter, and then up north. It's probably why Red Bull invested in Newcastle, and obviously that's where you're from. Grew up, went to school there. Just a quick one. I remember back in the day, like it was, I think you played St Joseph's at RGS, and you won Player of the Tournament, and you like basically from prop, you won the whole thing.
Yeah, I think we won my second last year, which is actually huge because like I think we'd gone a few years before and never really done that well. And then to win it was huge. Beat Millfield in the final. I remember that was like one of the best memories like from my schoolboy career. Like it was so good to beat like a massive rugby school and coming from.
RGS is a big. Don't do that. RGS is a huge rugby school.
Yeah, but like at the time, like we'd never really done that well in St Joe's. We probably had never done that well in like the National Cup stuff, and it was a bit like it was always a bit underwhelming. Whereas that was probably the first time where we won something, and it was like we've actually done something quite big.
And how nice is it to play with your schoolmates, right?
Yeah, exactly. Because like a lot of them, you're going to be your friends for life, and you always I still speak to a lot of them now, and as I say, like you always look back on those memories so fondly because they are the ones with some of your closest friends that you've grown up with.
And then also we're talking about Newcastle again, we're going back to it, but you wore like a Newcastle football shirt
Yeah.
The big day out is like you're fit. There's like all the players got the
Yeah, it was
fashion
our own gear, and then we went and lost to Quinn. It was actually a bit of a nightmare. But no, we'd Newcastle United won the Carabao Cup final the year before, the week before rather, and like that again another like special night to win a trophy in 67 years, whatever it was like amazing for like everyone from Newcastle. Like, I mean, obviously a football fan myself, but we were talking about the buy-in from the city. Newcastle is a football city, and like the trophy parade there was unbelievable. Like it was crazy to see everyone in their like black and white tops. It's just crazy the amount of support that they get.
Did you guys ever watch what's that movie, Goal? Santiago. That was one of my favourite movies.
Yeah, great
One
film.
of my favourite movies of all time. Like, I can't even name a rugby movie.
Well, there's
apart from
Invictus.
Yeah, Invictus.
Yeah. But to be fair, you're right. There probably isn't like a nailed on rugby. There's a lot of like basketball ones, like Coach Carter and Remember the Titans is a good one. Longer for
I think there's probably a lot more scope. I do think like in the rugby world, there's not enough probably buy-in from the teams. I think directors of rugby and coaches are always quite wary of the media or like what the media can do, and therefore you probably don't
Ben Abano did a documentary series, didn't he, a couple of seasons ago?
For Harlequins, right?
On Harlequins, but like I think at the time he was like, why don't I do it on Bath? And I think they were a bit like, nah, not at the moment. So it's like, it just shows they're pretty tight on that. But maybe that's your gap in the market, lads.
Thank you.
Could be your gap in the market.
Feature
Feature film.
Yeah. We're here for any producers. Anyone want to contact us? We're ready for it.
They tried to do it for the Six Nations, didn't they? But apparently they like stopped them getting the meetings and all the stuff you want to see as a fan. It's just like, if you're going to do it, you got to let them all in, I reckon.
I think like it was really frustrating. It really frustrates me. Like you're trying to obviously grow rugby in the media and stuff, and you don't let. I'm not being funny, but France don't care about England's kick strategy from it comes out a year later anyway. You've probably worked it out. Like it's not what people are interested. What the producers are interested in. Never mind like the other teams. So I think that is really frustrating. Those kind of moments where you've almost got the opportunity for this unbelievable access for fans, and it's kind of restricted. I think it's a real shame because, as I say, I don't think it's.
Most of it you can see anyway, can't you? If you do your preview and stuff.
It's all camera friendly.
A lot of it's just it's common sense as well. Really,
you know what's going on.
Like, but we're also talking about we also do like a culture crossover type thing. That is a segment on every podcast we've done. And just actually interesting, you revealed before that both your parents are artists and stuff like that, and your passion for art and ceramics. Like, how is that something you've got a keen interest in as well?
Yeah, I think naturally growing up in a household where my dad would be painting all day, every day, and my mum was probably full-time mum most of the time, but then as we've got older, she got back into ceramics. And so naturally, you know, if times where you might be like watching TV or playing Xbox and just like, nah, come on, we're doing some of this. And so you get into it a little bit. And then I did a A-level art at Beach and Cliff. So I didn't do it for GCSE, but then I was like, okay, I really want a nice like counterpoint to my rugby when I'm doing the sort of the ACE program. So I ended up doing art A-level. I was grateful they let me in without a GCSE. And I loved it. That was some of my best moments at sixth form were just like in the art studios at school. You know, you put music on. It's just different vibe to every other subject.
Do you still do it now?
Yeah, still draw and stuff. Yeah. There's a massive print workshop in Leicester, which I'm thinking of getting a membership for, just to get back into some liner cuts and etchings and stuff like that. But I haven't got around to it yet. I'm a bit lazy. So
did your dad ever like paint, or have you ever like painted any like rugby games or stuff like that?
Yeah, he did actually. He did a series on Bath probably 5 or 6 years ago. I remember, but it's just like different bits and bobs. But
how about yourself, Billy? What do you do outside of rugby?
Nothing as special as this guy. You can see how he plays. He's a very stylish sort of guy. I think it comes from his family and his art love. So for me,
you're a golfer, bro.
Yeah, I'm big on my golf, to be fair.
But who's the best golfer in the Tigers squad?
You're up there.
You want to say you don't?
He's up there.
I am up there, but Charlie Titchkin's very good. He's a young 10.
Is he a scratch? Playing off scratch?
No, he's not scratch. Yeah, he's scratch. Yeah, scratch.
Why do you me, mate?
I don't know. I'm not a golfer.
No, he's not a scratch. He's probably about a 4 or 5, and I'm probably about an 8. So he's probably better than me.
The Leicester boys will love it.
But one-on-one, I'd give him a crack one-on-one. I reckon under pressure, a bit of money on it.
Are you what do they call it? Are you a person who loves to drive? Are you a cutter? Are you like
everyone loves to drive.
He does it all. He does it all.
I like to think I'm a bit of an all-rounder, but
It's interesting. Do you reckon? So Latrell Mitchell, who's one of the best rugby league players down in the NRL, plays for the Rabbitohs. He's now got his own golf YouTubing channel, so he's playing against like influencers.
Yeah,
and
so
stuff
does Ryan
on
Wilson
YouTube.
actually.
Ryan
It's
Wilson.
just big in all of these real physical sports, isn't it? Like rugby, football, loads of them play golf because it's one of the things you can do like on a day off where
Cricket
it's not
of
going to be
golf.
really physical on your body. So
It's like, and you can have a good laugh of it. It's not too taxing on the body. I mean, some coaches get a bit funny about it and make sure you get buggy and all
Oh,
this.
do they?
Yeah,
Yeah, you
'cause-
can't tell physios either. Like sometimes you just like,
Backs. It's a
yeah.
back problem, isn't it? You can do
Yeah.
your back playing
go
golf.
to the driving range and hit drives for an hour, you know.
but it's good crack and we love it. At Leicester.
Nice.
There's probably like 12 to 15 of us at the moment. Who are,
Golfer?
yeah, I play a bit, but then I obviously don't tell the physios I've been cracking
Not on a
driver all
podcast or
yes,
anything.
yeah, literally. We hope they're not watching because I tell them I don't play golf, but sneak off to the range.
Yeah.
I've been working double time to try and catch up with these boys.
This guy's good.
I'm not
This
playing
guy's-
with them yet.
He's
I'll
got a little
play
bit, though.
end of summer. I'll get my game up to a point
When
where I
did
can play with
when
them.
did you start?
Only a couple of years ago.
yeah.
I never played it growing up.
No.
Yeah, we're very fortunate at Bath and at Leicester that they often come with a sort of affiliation with a golf club. So
That's
just
super
get
handy.
along and
Super
a
handy.
couple times.
I was thinking when we were talking about the the football Spygate thing in the middle. Was it? They were at Middlesbrough, weren't they?
Yeah.
They're right next to a golf course, so all the Middlesbrough players must just be chilling on.
Yeah,
that
it's a
golf
nice
course.
golf
Yeah.
course as
Oh,
well.
you know
Actually,
it?
it's Rockcliffe Hall, I think, isn't it? It's,
Oh, it's
yeah,
good,
it's
yeah.
nice. It's a beautiful spot.
Oh,
So if they've got it lucky, yeah.
Yeah.
I think cricketers. That's famously Brendan McCullum. All the players they always go and play golf. That's one of the
Yeah, and
jokes.
the media love to hammer them as well,
yeah,
don't they? Like,
they get absolutely hammered.
That could be another little thing for you guys. A little golf day for all the Premiership teams. Get the best couple from each team.
Quinn's
So,
would be a
well,
good
if-
idea.
if-
It's a good idea,
if-
Billy, I
That
like
is a
it.
good idea.
Gotta
We'll
take
do
commission
it
on that.
if you
Competition
participate.
between all the teams. Pick your best two players.
Yeah, if you do it,
We'll
we'll make that
We'll
happen.
be in. I reckon
Yeah.
you could arrange that.
Who's the best
They'd be in
golfer
Portugal.
rugby player that you've played against?
Jimmy Gopperth was very good. He's
Is he?
probably a scratch now. But he was in France playing like 4 times a week when he's at Provence.
Oh,
so
really? Apparently,
unfair.
Elliot Obatimo is really good as well.
Yeah,
Ben
he's
Earls-
very
Ben
good.
Earls pretty good.
he
He's
is.
off scratch as
Ben
well.
Spencer's a joke.
Matt Banham was good apparently as well. He's
Yeah.
scratch. Ben Earls pretty good. I've heard.
They're all
Ben
there.
Earls good. Alex Zozowski's a good player as well.
He was a footballer as well, wasn't he, Alex Zozowski? I'm pretty sure he played
I'm pretty sure,
academy
yeah.
football. At
He's
something
very
like
like.
Oh, he was
it
at
wouldn't
Chelsea.
surprise me.
this. Yeah.
He was at Chelsea. Yeah. Interesting. Fine. Yeah, we'll make that happen. We just have to get through. Yeah. We'll do it. We'll do it.
Can it be in Portugal or something?
No, yeah. I'll found a logo.
budget-
We'll
the
go
budget
found a
is-
logo.
found a logo, I'm in.
Big night out after as well. I reckon that's the best way to do it. And then we're talking about golf and then like rugby spin-offs as well. Obviously there's like the rugby yard. Andy Christie started his. It's kind of like Run It Straight, but it's a bit different. And then there's also the Elite Scrummaging Championships, which I think he's just had to delay. Connor, did you see that
No, I didn't see
on
it.
social media? So I think he's one of the boys at Isha started. His idea was he was going to have three. You can have 3 goes each of packs of 8. And just go and it's like tug of war, but scrums, and whoever would drive past the most. His idea was like,
We'll watch.
It's like sevens. It's like sevens.
like sevens, but for props.
For props.
Right, okay.
That was
I think it's a good idea.
Who's going to
like-
watch that?
Yeah. No, I would.
Props would watch that.
I'd
props
watch
would
it.
love it.
Or think about all the naughty coaches who
Yeah.
just want to like
Yeah,
learn
you
about
could get a
technique
contract out
and
of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, you
yeah.
could get someone could pick
It's
a
not
deal up
bad
in
idea.
France.
That was
there,
one of
I
their
reckon.
big sales pitches. It was like, we'll find lads who have been slightly missed, but who are really good scrummagers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not a bad shout.
No. Did you guys remember? I think it was Rugby X. Do you remember that?
That was a spin-off. That was in,
Oh,
was that
it
in
was in
France?
the O2.
Or the O2, yeah.
I remember.
Five-a-side rugby,
Oh,
basically.
yeah.
Do you remember that?
5-a-side.
Yeah, and they used to like literally England sent a team there. Like,
Really?
they tried to make it a big thing before COVID.
Was it a bit like futsal? Like the rugby
A
version
little
of
bit,
futsal?
a little
Yeah.
bit, a little bit. But it's for me, it's quite interesting having all to like we're talking about growing the game, having Andy Christie's the rugby yard, having this elite scrummaging championship, having sevens. These are all little rugby activations that can help be a gateway into rugby. So it's important, right?
Yeah, definitely. And then also talking about, obviously, one other thing we're going to do for the culture crossover is obviously you're from up the north in Newcastle. Were there any particular slang words when you came down to Saracens that you were unaware of in rugby terms or even just learning it? Or
I wouldn't say
It's
there's
pretty
anything
good.
particular. I think it's just because I come obviously I'm from Newcastle, but whenever I come down, everyone says how strong an accent I've got. But
I'd say it's
up
not
in-
that strong.
But in Newcastle, I don't have any accent, and I get almost slated for being posh
Yeah.
and whatever. And then I come down to Sarries and I get slated for being Geordie and from Newcastle. So no one wants me, and I'm just kind of floating in the middle.
Phil.
I know it's a bit sad, but
We'll have you at Counteract, mate. You can do
Yeah,
some
I'll
presenting for us.
just be your ambassador.
and then was there anything like any particular like slang terms coming from any of the French lads? Was there like a little anything that come across between the two, or was it pretty?
Not really. I learnt like the probably the swear word sort of things like they're quicker than the
You
normal
should have seen him
French.
against Bordeaux when he was getting angry in the second half. He was giving in some of the French slang back.
They
to
probably
them.
didn't understand what I was saying. I've lost
Say
it.
it.
I was trying
Well,
to
he's
get
lost
them-
his touch.
I probably can't say
He's
it.
lost
Oh,
his
no,
touch.
no.
Trying to get them in French, but they're like, "What are you even saying?" So yeah, I've lost it, I think. But no,
what
not
was
really.
what was the when you're in France? What was like the music culture like there? Are you big into your music?
I like the music, but it's to be fair, they play a lot of stuff that you hear over here if you're out and about.
okay.
There's some French music you hear in the gym, which was quite cool. Picked up
Yeah.
a few French songs on the playlist now, but it's very similar sort of stuff. You'd be surprised. For a country that speaks a lot of French and doesn't like to speak in English, it's
That is
they
funny.
listen to English music all the time. I'm
Yeah.
like, none of you speak English to me, but you're singing the English songs. I'm like, how's that work?
Yeah.
So that was a bit weird.
Who does the playlist at Leicester? Is there a certain person who's always on the
it's a
mic?
mix.
Or is it?
Pre-match is normally Nicky Smith, but a lot of us will have headphones in. He listens to heavy music.
Yeah.
I'm like chilled sort of music before a game, so I'm like headphones straight in. But it's normally
Found
him, and it's loud and it's like heavy.
Yeah.
And then he'll drop like the odd Olivia Dean song, and you're like, okay, I'll take these out for a second.
In the gym, it's like first person in,
Yeah.
gets on the speaker. So
What are you into?
it's never
Orlando?
us, is it?
What
Last
are you
week.
into?
Oh, a big mixture, really. Yeah, I'm pretty versatile when it comes to music. I like Dave, Little Sims, but then also like James Blake, people like that.
Yeah.
Bon Iver. So a
Looking
big mixture of anything,
Everything.
depending on
Eclectic
depending on the
taste.
mood. Yeah,
you looking forward to Drake's new album?
yeah. Is that tomorrow?
15th?
Yeah. Wow.
15th.
I'd probably be Kendrick over Drake if I was choosing. I know
See,
that
like,
might be
actually go-
controversial.
They're going to come for him in the comments now, aren't they?
Yeah, is that bad? Is that
No.
controversial?
More people are Kendrick.
Do you reckon?
I'm Drake through
Yeah.
and through though. Yeah.
But no, I still listen to it. I'm not picking sides, but if I was,
He's not gonna watch it. It's fine, bro.
he might. You're
Nah,
getting
you
the
never
big
know.
leagues now.
Is there do you have like a winning song? Because obviously talking about music, most clubs have like winning songs. I don't know if after you win a game, is there a song post
Tiki
game?
Taka
Not seeing
Tonga.
with their tops off in the change
Tiki
room.
song,
Yeah.
Tops off. they
Avoid
love it.
avoid the camera at all costs for me and hide behind the media man. And yeah, we sing Tiki Tonga. That's our song. I don't know.
Have you got one at Leicester? Or
What's that song? It's like, I like it. It's like a play on
Rockin' All Over the World.
Rocking all over the world. Yeah.
So we've just made a new one really since Christmas.
did you have to learn the words then? Or was that a bit
Yeah,
of
but
a-
it's mainly the song, and we just
They
put, a
put
few
it on the
words
WhatsApp group, the lyrics for the first few times, and then
Everyone's
you'd
reading.
remember it after that. After we got a couple
It's
wins.
good. It's good to have a song after, like, especially when you win. So
Yeah.
it's good for the change room. Gets the boys going.
What was the best song you've had? Because you played at a couple of clubs. What would you say was like the best song? But any particular stick out?
I actually like the one we had at Worcester. I can't remember what it was. We just made it off the cuff because they never had one, and we didn't win very often. So when we
We'll
won,
bow it out
when we
when you
won,
do
it was
it.
like this is a big one, and we're having a big night. So that was good memories. And Bristol always had the Blackbird song, was quite cool when I first got into it.
I don't know that one. How does that go?
I can't remember. That was like 8 years ago now, so I can't remember, to be honest. But yes, it's the same everywhere. But some teams have them, some teams don't.
Nice. Well, this next section, we have been trolling through your Instagrams and it's called
gosh.
Instagram Lost Files, right? So we've got a few photos of you and we'd love a little bit of context behind it, if
Where
that's
are we
okay.
seeing them?
Boys, you need to check your tagged photos. That's what I'm saying.
Tagged? Oh, mate.
No, there's nothing too bad.
Yeah, they'll appear on the
We'll
screen.
go with this one.
Oh,
So,
that's cute.
Oily.
yeah. So talk to us about this. What
That's
where were
actually
you?
at Sebla
Is that Lance?
school. Yeah, it was back in the day. What was I? Must have been like 10, 11 there. Playing, I don't know, probably for school or something there.
Yeah.
But I think I look all right there.
Yeah, no, you look good,
I think I
man. You look
pretty
good.
sharp.
Have you dyed your hair?
Yeah, my
since then?
trim's a little
Yeah.
I
bit.
think you've
I'm
dyed it
losing-
now. You look
Dyed
blonder
it now?
now.
No, it's in the summer it goes. See,
You
that's
sure?
in
Bit
November.
of lemon
Yeah.
in there.
It's
So,
November back then. Look then.
So I actually know a little bit about English lamps. Do you know about that? Do you wanna-
Yeah.
For those who don't know, do you want to explain a little bit about what it is?
It was like independent schools, isn't it?
Yeah.
And like it was like a north, south,
Versus south.
southwest
Exactly,
thing,
yeah.
and then there's like a festival, isn't there, at rugby school, which
Yeah.
I guess was like quite cool, like to go to rugby school. And then I think I went on tour when I was like 11 to like France, which I guess like kind of when you're that young, you don't really go on tour. That was kind of cool to go and experience like with a kind of first taste of like just meeting a group of lads, come
Yeah.
together and have a good time on tour. And we went to Toulouse actually.
Nice.
I think Entermac was playing against us because there was one.
probably was.
Was that as the North or was that
No, I think that was
national?
national. I think, but
Yeah.
and literally we played like Toulouse Academy or whatever, and like we were 11, 12 years old, and these lads came out and were like, what's going on here?
Yeah.
And they literally like tore us apart. But we had a good time.
experience,
Yeah, we had a good time.
Did you guys ever play in the Lambs or any of these kind of?
So I got all the stash because I got selected. Maybe it was the South, maybe it was the National. I can't remember. But then I did my hamstring and I missed the whole thing. Yeah. Oh, it was some injury. I think it was a hamstring.
That age.
So I missed the whole thing. At the time, I was actually gutted.
Yeah.
But you look back on it now and you forgot that was.
Okay, and then the next one.
We'll go this
Oh,
one.
no,
Sorry.
Sorry.
Take that off.
So we'll go with you. Who is this this young fella?
It's Belsky.
Yeah, it's me and my brother. I'm in the jersey, and then my sister's on the next one.
She's
We
loving
used to have a little camper down in Dorset, take it on little road trips. It was a vibe, but yeah, it's the gang. That's 3 out of the 4 of us. I've got another sister as well. So
Nice. You pay good money for that jersey now, by the way.
I know.
That jersey fresh.
I could sell that on Depop, and
Yeah.
Do you reckon they'll do like a?
won't be needing it anymore.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, my bad.
Do you reckon they'll do like a retro fits round, like in terms of just clubs wearing their old kits for?
Yeah, what did they do?
a good
They've done that
shout.
recently in
They
what,
did it
Super
for
Rugby?
Cool,
Super
They did
Super
it
Rugby, football do it. The NRL again,
Would be cool.
Australia,
like a
yeah,
one game thing or
just
for
a
a
one-off,
season.
just a one-off, one game.
Do
should
you want
do
them
that.
like long sleeve cottons?
Nah, you can't be doing.
It's hot, but you can just do like Super Rugby, very good. Moana do
Yeah.
quite a cool one.
They should
but-
do it for a big
yeah.
game or something.
Yeah, no. What was cool is La Liga. I hope I'm getting this right. Did a retro round, so all of the graphics were retro, all the
Yeah.
kits were
Yeah, yeah,
retro.
yeah.
It was sick. I think like
And that's cool.
nostalgia is a big thing in sports at the moment now. Like I'd pay to go and watch a match.
Yeah, I look way better in a loose fit as well. So I'm all for it.
Bring back the collar.
There he is.
Big fish, that.
Big boy.
Yeah, it was
Big
actually.
fish, small pond.
Yeah,
It's you,
even
mate.
where was it? I can't remember where it was, but yeah, it was growing up. I love fishing, so I still fish now. We've got like a little fishing boat, me and a couple of mates, like just north of Newcastle,
Yeah,
and we go out like to spend literally float on the sea for the half the day.
it's a big
have a couple
thing.
of beers. Yeah, it was good fun. I mean, that's not in the North Sea, by the way.
No,
but
no, I was gonna.
we
It's a
catch,
bit hot.
Yeah, it's not they don't catch cod quite as big as that in the North Sea, but it's good fun.
Is that cod? That looked like tuna. I thought.
Nah, it is a tuna.
It's a tuna.
It is a tuna.
It's a tuna. But so fishing is a good pastime if you're.
Yeah, exactly. Like I think, as you say, kind of Siri's talking about golf as a bit of a
Yeah.
get out from rugby. Like some of my mates say, I live like a retired man. I'll play golf, go fishing whenever I can because it's just like so chilled. You can do literally just you could be out there all day just on the sea.
It's also a sport. I didn't realise, but Sky Sports used to stream the World Fishing Championships.
Yeah,
Did you ever watch it?
extreme fishing. I
Yeah,
never
yeah.
watched it, but it was definitely that was
Yeah,
definitely a
it's a
thing.
ma- It's
Yeah, I'm all
sport.
for it.
Yeah.
Robson Green Extreme Fishing, get behind that.
Here we are.
Billy.
There he is.
Exeter College.
Pulling the strings, man.
That was Exeter College Rugby Academy back in the day. That's actually Allianz Park. At your ends. Sarries Ground, Stonex now, actually. Yeah, it's Allianz Park back then. It was in a semi-final, I think, of the NatWest rugby thing.
Okay.
For,
What age would you have been there? Boy?
17 maybe.
Special.
Yeah.
How did you find playing in the NatWest?
Yeah, it was cool.
competition?
Like I think you spoke about earlier, playing with your mates at school. Phil spoke about it. It was
Yeah.
they're like the best memories you have, I reckon, in rugby.
I'd
When you're
say
playing
so.
with like your best mates, you go on socials in the week, you play
Yeah.
play midweek. And we got to the NatWest final at Twickenham and sadly lost, but
Who'd you lose to?
some Lancashire team, I think.
Oh,
He's
God,
erased
yeah.
it from his memory.
Yeah,
I
erased
don't
it.
remember
I
that.
erased
Back in my day, showing my age, it was called the Daily Mail Cup. It wasn't
Daily Mail,
even-
that's what it was.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Daily
it's
Mail
Daily
for you
Mail.
as well.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
I think we're similar ages,
Yeah,
right?
so it was cool memories. And we went up, played twice at Allianz Park back then. And
Yeah.
it was like, we're your best mates, had the best times. And yeah, it's fond memories that you still look back on now. And it's nothing better really than playing with your mates and doing well and enjoying those trips up as a young lad, like 16, 17 on the bus. You thought it was like the best thing ever.
Yeah, it's the leaving the school room early, like
Yeah,
right,
yeah.
boys,
Serious
save the
flex.
game.
Everyone looking at you.
Serious flex.
We had NatWest Vars, I think it was under 15s,
Yeah.
and they let the school have a day off to come to the final.
Oh, nice.
I
At
was like-
Twickenham.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
sick.
It's like under 15 Vars.
We had the same.
And from that team, we had like, myself and 4 others went pro from one school team.
Oh, really?
Which
Who?
is mad. So it was Frankie Reed, who's now out in New Zealand, John Stewart, who's with me at Leicester, Ethan Stadden at Bath,
Yeah.
and then Sam O'Connor at Scarlets.
I don't know Sam O'Connor. I know Ethan Stadden. He's just signed for Bristol next season, isn't he?
So I remember that was
I think did we play you at Rossland Park or something stupid like that?
Yeah.
In the sevens tournament.
sevens, yeah.
Yeah, I remember that. That was
you playing
tough.
sevens?
Yeah, I was
Nice.
back in the day. I could move.
Yeah, yeah.
Not anymore.
It's probably
But,
mad how many people miss out on making it at this stage, or the boys you play with when you're younger? Because I remember my team back then, it was pretty stacked, and like they didn't make it because back there at Exeter you had to be at Picton, Ivybridge or Truro to be in the Exeter Academy. And none of us, and I didn't want to go. They had to board there, so I played at Exeter College Academy, which wasn't linked with Chiefs, so you couldn't really get a link in there. And we'd play against Picton and beat them, our team, but like, they had 8 boys in the academy, and we'd have none. It was like our team was better than theirs. It was like
because it's such a big region.
Yeah, and they had a big fallout, which was Exeter College was right in the heart of Exeter. It should be linked. Now they are linked. But back then, you couldn't play unless you played with these 3 academies.
I didn't know that. That's interesting.
It was crazy. That was probably why I went to Bristol in the end and didn't go for Exeter. And there's probably other lads in my team that were quality players and never got the chance to go pro or be in the academy at a young age. That's probably why I didn't do the academy route. And then, like I said, we played against boys who were in the academy and beat their team. It was so clicky back then. It was a shame because I know some of my mates in that team definitely would have made it if they had the chance. So
you do look back and definitely like when you play schoolboy rugby, there's certain lads who you play against or you play with and you go, how they just weren't quite like. We had a lad. I was at Whitgift. I didn't quite make it into the 18, like first 15, but we won. Yeah, tough. We won the NatWest in our year. We played at Twickenham and beat Warwick in the final. And Warwick obviously had Finn Smith playing for them, and I think they had like Jack Forsyth who was at Worcester, who was class.
Sure.
And then we had a lad with Charlie Cadogan who played like BUCS rugby, and he was unbelievable. And like Ollie Hartley, to be fair, he was at Saracens. He was injured most of the year, but he couldn't get in the side.
Really?
So we had like a
Yeah,
gun
he
team.
told like his story. He's like, he couldn't get in. He was playing for Whitgift twos or whatever, wasn't he?
Yeah,
couldn't
couldn't
Ollie
get
Hart
inside.
was at Wigan.
Yeah, he couldn't get
get in the
inside.
team.
We had an unbelievable, like that back line was one lad, the 9, he's a French lad called Tom Berger. I don't think he played rugby after school. He stopped completely. Went to Durham and then just stopped playing rugby.
Some of these school teams just stack way too many in. It's
didn't get a chance.
Some lads don't fancy it either.
Yeah, some lads
it's
just
a
like,
physical sport, and like they do well at A levels or whatever, and they're like,
we had the twins as well, didn't we? So that probably helped.
The Benz twins, yeah.
This is classes.
You've done some digging, haven't you?
Yeah, we've done some digging. No, but
Mate, they're all still they're in public.
They're in public. No, but talk to us a little bit about this. Social?
It was a college social again. 2 of my best mates there, still good mates of mine. It's not our dresses. It was netball and rugby mixed socials. So we gave them some rugby gears. They got some netball gears. I was social sec at the time, so we went as netballers and they went as rugby guys. They were linked social and good memories again. Yeah.
I remember when I was at school, we always used to the rugby boys used to play the netball girls.
Yeah,
did you guys do that as well? Yeah, is that this?
That was that. Yeah, that's special day. That you had to put your best on for that day.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, netball's such an underrated sport. Like, I think it's sick.
It's good sport.
It's good. Orlando.
oh god.
Artsy, so artsy.
So that's lockdown trims.
Okay.
Yeah. My brother hates that photo actually.
Oh really?
I thought you'd like it. It's we're very close, me and him. Probably like best mates to be fair. So obviously barbers were shut for a good few months. So we tried giving each other trims and his buzz cut's a bit tight in it, but that's my fault. And I think he gave me a slightly better one.
And did your brother played rugby? Was he?
Yeah, so he was Bath Academy. He went to Sherborne for sixth form. Sherborne boys. Had a good time there, and then didn't get signed by Bath in the end. Went to Loughborough Uni. Obviously amazing rugby uni, and just had he had a shoulder up and stuff, and then kind of just fell out of love with it a little bit. He's very supportive still though.
Okay, so I think that is basically it for this week's episode. Thanks for coming in, lads. I hope you enjoyed it. Is there anyone you'd nominate to come on from Leicester or just the rugby in general that you'd like to see come on the podcast?
There's a lad called Wilf McCarthy at Leicester. There's a young lad just come first year at pro, so it's probably quite a good mix. Just come out of uni rugby. Okay. And then probably...
Yeah, you got BUCS player of the season last year with Hartbury.
He's like 23 now, so he's late into it, but is he 23? 22?
22 or 23.
But he's like, he's fresh into a pro environment, but he's a proper character and a lot of potential. So I think there's probably a lot of people that go to uni now that could have made it as well, and they come in late, so probably another side of it would be cool.
Because Charlie Titcombe was the player of the season the year before that.
He was at Loughborough, wasn't he?
Yeah, so it's interesting, like we've got a couple in the Leicester squad who've obviously taken slightly different routes and really, really performed at the BUCS level, which is obviously I feel like it's getting bigger and bigger, isn't it?
I know we're about to finish, but I think that like BUCS rugby, and I know you're passionate about this, could be massive. Like if you think about American sports, college sports is huge. And like BUCS has that potential, I think.
And obviously you played for Newcastle. Obviously they've not quite got past Brunel again this year.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, talk about how big it is up in Newcastle. Like, I know it's massive. Loads of lads come down from the uni to watch the games. That pitch is nice there as well.
Yeah,
that
it's
4G.
like obviously like even in that corner, obviously you've got Durham, Northumbria, and Newcastle, like some real good sides. I think the potential there is huge to tap into. It'll be huge for obviously Newcastle Red Bulls as the side there. But as you say, the BUCS whole system, I think, is the fundamentals of it, I think, are fantastic. I think it's a really nice bridge for 18, 19-year-olds to kind of step towards men's rugby, but it's not quite there. So to like kind of drip feed that in is really good. I know a few of the Saracens lads are at Loughborough and they have like the best time. You get a bit of uni life, obviously mature there, and as well as the rugby, which is of a really high standard, and probably that nice bridge towards men's rugby.
Yeah. What was that thing that you were telling me about Newcastle Red Bulls? They're going to set up this.
Yeah, Newcastle. They're talking about the Red Bull University. I think it's going to be like the best players from Northumbria and Newcastle they're going to put a side together. They've already done it once.
Yeah, they played a game
in Scotland, didn't they?
Well, they used to be fair. Like even when I was there, they'd have like they called like the scholar setup. So as you say, the best players from those three unis would come in and they'd have a training day, whether it be a couple of times a month or once a month or whenever it worked around uni schedules, and would either have a training session, sometimes play like a lot of them would play in the A-League stuff. So that was kind of quite a nice way to come in as well. But as I say, like that corner like is a little bit untapped. I think there's a lot of potential to kind of pull out of there. And I think they will. Obviously, I know like John Fletcher, his son Ollie's a really good friend of mine, and I think he'll obviously, his kind of remit will be to tap into that and really develop a system where it's really easy for young players. So as like Searle was saying, players can't fall through the system. They're like, if you are good enough or you kick on a little bit later, and whether that is when you're 20, 21, you'll still have a route back into a professional environment.
And the other thing, like finishing off, is I actually think there's already the ready-made rivalries as well, which I think rugby lacks, apart from like your Leicester, Northampton and Bath, Exeter kind of, and Bath, Gloucester. That Newcastle, Northumbria, there's already a massive rivalry because in the same place.
Yeah.
Leeds, Beckett again, different league, but that varsity game is huge. Like there's already a rivalry there.
And you're tapping into such a different fan base as well, because like people at uni, like what great day out, get pissed up, go and watch your mates, or then they will go out afterwards, and it's like these games get massive crowds sometimes as well.
And again, like another, whether it be like a curtain raiser to
yeah, exactly.
Or like a premiership game to happen afterwards. It's pulling in a different crowd to get those university like crowds in. As I say, there's 3 big unis there. Get them all in and fill the stadium.
Rhinos do it for I played rugby league up at Leeds, but the varsity is always before a Leeds CAS Super League game. As Beckett play uni of.
It's such a good shout, isn't it?
It does very, very 100%. Well.
Yeah, I'm sure you've seen the video of the streaker have you seen the Northumbria Newcastle?
Yeah, the streaker.
Like it's carnage. Like those days used to be like chaos in Newcastle.
Just touching on that as well, the Bath Uni do a game there each season at the Rec.
Got 8,500, didn't they?
Yeah, and even when it's less, like a few years, because I was at uni at Bath, and even when it's less, like I remember being in the crowd and just thinking the atmosphere is a joke.
Did they ever ask you to play when you were at uni, or was it always?
I think I would have done if there weren't the injuries I spoke about. So I didn't really get that opportunity. But even when there's less fans, they'd always bring drums and they'd have all this like a hymn sheet and stuff. And you're thinking you need to tap into this. Like
it's very tribal, isn't it?
The Highlanders in New Zealand do that, don't they? They've got that the zoo end or whatever they call it.
Uni of Otago. It's like the zoo top end.
Yeah,
right, yeah.
So it's a good thing that I think all rugby teams could have a little uni section if they've got a uni in the town.
Yeah.
Defo. Just sell them like £5 tickets.
Yeah,
just be absolute
£2 beers.
Why not? But I think that's probably everything for today. Please make sure to subscribe to the Counter Ruck channel on YouTube, because that is where this whole podcast will go, and you'll get notifications of when other stuff comes out. But I'd like to say thank you very much, firstly, to Orlando and Billy for coming on.
Cheers, boys.
And then obviously Phil Brantingham as well. Thank you very much, lads.
Cheers guys. Cheers.